Alright, so welcome to Photoshop. So today we're going to be going over the matte effect. And it's not really any sort of special effect, it's just really the matte look. You can also color grade these as well to sort of enhance it. So we're going to take this image here, it's sort of a contrasty image, and I'm going to show you how to use invert, which most people don't even probably know exists, to achieve that effect. So invert is simply basically flipping your image to a negative, and then we're going to use a blending mode. So we're actually going to come up here and use invert, which is actually in your adjustment panel. Now I don't think this is something that photographers use a lot, but this is actually a really simple effect. So we're going to go ahead and click invert, and you can see, oh my gosh, we have this nasty looking negative, and how in the world are we going to get this to look like a matte finish? So it's pretty simple. We're just going to come over here into the layers panel, and we are going to change this. So basically you're either going to choose lighten or screen. Alright, and you can test out which one you like better. So what this is doing, as you can see, is it's making your hair white. Alright, so black and white. So now what we're going to do is lower that opacity, and now if I turn this on and off, you can see how it's really just lowered that contrast, but same time giving this really cool matte effect in your image. So I'll switch over to lighten, and you can see lighten sort of does the same thing. They're very similar. I'm going to use screen for this one. Now you have the ability to, really control where that's at, which is wonderful. Not only that, you can come in here and mask off something if there's an area that you don't want that to happen to. So we've got that sort of matte look to it, and now this image sort of has some color gradation to it. It's a little bit cyan down here, so if I wanted to reduce some of that cyan or blue, I can make sure. So it looks like it's going to be a combination of both. So we'll just come over here, and the reason I go all the way to the right in saturation in blue and cyan, if I go all the way to the right and it lights up bright, I know there's blue in it versus cyan. And so that's all I'm doing, is just checking to see whether it's got more cyan and more blue. So we'll just sort of lower that to kind of get that less intense blue that doesn't really seem to work with sort of a matte image. So I've got another image over here, and I will do this over again. So we're going to come in here and hit this invert. Actually, I'm going to hit Command Z, and I'm going to Command J this background just so I can always easily go back. So we'll come back, then do the invert, go into layers, change our blending mode to screen, and then severely lower the opacity on this into where we think it looks good. And so you can see we have the matte effect in Photoshop. So super easy to do. So that's a new little technique. I'm sure that most people don't actually use the invert, so now you're getting the ability to use something that you don't know how to and create sort of this kind of new trendy matte effect. So hopefully that was helpful. You learned a little something. Any comments or questions, please leave those below, and don't forget to subscribe.